Hello, everyone, and welcome to my new moon broadcast. I'm so glad that you're joining me this evening. It's 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and actually right around 4:57, we went into new moon energy. So how are you feeling? I've had some texts from some people that are saying it's been kind of crazy for them, a bit of an emotional roller coaster. And what I really would like to do for you this evening is to give you some insights that might assist you in dealing with this rocky new moon energy. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about who I am. My name is SusanDintino, and I'm a teacher. I'm an author. I have written a book that's been published by Hay House called Songs of My Life, Slightly Out of Tune, which I'm very proud of, a humorous approach to some of the things that I've experienced in my life. And I teach workshops, as I said, I do readings, and to find out a little bit more about me, please feel free to visit my website at SusanDintino, that's DINTINO.com. So then you can learn exactly all about what I'm about. So now let's talk about our subject for this evening. When we talk about a new moon, let's define that. What does a new moon mean? Well, basically, it is when the moon is passing between the earth and the sun. And because of that, it is not visible. So when you look up at the sky, for the most part, you don't see anything. Right here where I am, I see a great deal of stars, but no sign of the moon. So that's really what we look for. Sometimes you will see a very thin sliver of the moon at sunset, and that also would be considered a new moon. And almost all calendars will give you an update as to when to expect the full moon and new moon. Now, with new moon energy, it's all about setting intentions. And when we talk about setting intentions, what we mean is that we come up with a thought, an affirmation that we would like to really see manifest. So it can be a material thing, it can be a personal thing, maybe you want to make some changes in the way you're eating, for example. So you would set an intention to have more healthy eating. These new moon cycles are in 28 days. So this new moon, 28 days from now, we will have the other new moon coming in. So with that energy, we'd be expecting this intention to really come to fruition. And again, you can set an intention that's going to go for, on and on for many different times. So it just depends on, again, what it is that you're looking to do. Now, what plays into this is what the astrological sign is, where that's impacting you. All right, how this is making you feel. This new moon is in Aries. So we know that Aries is a fire sign. We know it's a warrior. It's all about being bold and taking action, maybe leaping before you think. So because of that, you might be feeling your emotions really kind of going gangbusters, really, like I said earlier, an emotional roller coaster. And it's all those Aries energies really kind of seeping into us. Now, ordinarily, what we would suggest with this new moon energy is to really just go for it. Allow that fire to just ignite and really move forward boldly. However, there's a little something that's going on right now. We've got Venus going retrograde. And what that means is that Venus, when you would look at it from the earth, it would look as if it's moving backwards. And when this happens, the planets do the opposite of what we would expect them to do. So when Venus comes in, it's all about love. It's all about really just being very much in that whole romantic, even if it's not a romantic relationship, it's unconditional love. You just feel love, all right? Well, with Aries and also with Venus in retrograde, what we're finding is that rather than the I love you, which we usually get from Venus, what we're really focusing on now is I love me. Okay, so what that means is that this new moon is all about journeying inward. It's looking at the things in our lives inside that we would like to change. And it's really very important that we focus on love, self-love. So it's a time for really taking care of yourself, especially if you are feeling these really emotional, just like crashing in on you, if you're feeling all those kind of feelings, just remember that it's the planets, that they're really kind of really wreaking havoc with you right now. So what you really want to make sure you do is take care of yourself. Really get into maybe a little bit more of a nurturing basis than you normally do in your life. So that's one thing that we're going to keep in mind. Now, that being said, as with all new moon energy, it is a good time to start a new, like say if you've got an idea for a new business, it is a good time for you to let your entrepreneurial, really that part of your personality to come out, because this definitely is the energy for setting intentions, for allowing your businesses to maybe take a different turn. If you have a business, starting a new business, starting a hobby. Now, the only little red flag we have around this is to keep in mind that if you are doing that, if you are starting something new, you want to be very confident. And again, this is where we're moving inward. We want to make sure that we have the self-confidence to really, like for instance, if you're thinking of starting a new business, you want to be full of self-confidence when you go to the bank to ask for that loan. So this is why this intention setting might have a much more to do with you going inward, with you really making sure that you are really taking care of who you are as a person. That's first and foremost, regardless of what other things you might want to see. It's so much about you taking care of you. Okay? So you can, start that new project. But if you're feeling like the ego's kicking in, telling you all the reasons why it's not going to work, what I would suggest you try is doing a little mirror work. And this is something that Louise Hay talks about quite a bit. She talks about it in her book, You Can Heal Your Life. And she also, I believe, has a whole book out on this whole mirror work. And basically what you do is you go to a mirror, you make eye contact with yourself, and with feeling you say, I approve of myself. I approve of myself. I approve of myself. And maybe in the beginning, that's not exactly the way you're feeling, but the more you do it, the more you'll find that you will get to that approval place. What the goal here is to slowly move up, the acceptance ladder, and to get to a place where you can easily make eye contact with yourself and say, I love you. I love you. Okay? That whole self-love thing. So, with this in Aries, with that aggressive energy coming from Aries, and then with Venus in retrograde, this new moon energy is about focusing on an inward journey. So this evening, if you have some time, and if you really feel that this is resonating with you, that it's time for you to look inward and see your relationships, some things that might really warrant change, some things that you would like to see different in 28 days, then I invite you to maybe journal a bit. I know I'm a writer and I'm always advising that, but I really think it's very beneficial. And remember, when you're doing that type of thing, you don't have to worry about grammar or spelling. Whatever is coming to you is exactly perfect for you. Maybe if you're building your self-confidence and you're thinking about starting this new business and it's a dream that you've been having, sit down and list all your attributes, why it is that you would be good at this. And if you feel that little naysayer mind going on, you quickly quell it and you don't allow it to come in. Remember that when you get those fear-based thoughts, that's all coming from ego. That's telling you all the reasons why this isn't going to work. And what you want to do is listen to that beautiful divine inspiration that's coming from a higher power and letting you know that, oh yes, you can do that. So set your intention, remembering that an affirmation is a statement of fact in the present tense. If you're trying to change your eating habits, I eat healthily, or I eat very healthy every day. I eat very healthy every day. And you say it and you fake it until you make it. So really feel these whole ideas of getting into that energy and taking this little journey. What I like to do is visualize, like I can't remember what movie it was. It was a long time ago where there was a movie where these scientists actually went in the body and went all through the body in a little ship of some kind, a spaceship of some kind, and I'm probably totally butchering it. But visualize yourself going on this type of journey and maybe being in a beautiful sailboat and sailing into your soul, sailing into your mind, and really harvesting the thoughts that really make you feel good. The thoughts that are heart-based, that tell you that you are really perfect just the way you are. And any of those other things that don't seem to be serving you, you want to throw overboard and you want to really make them disappear. So there's some information for you about Aries. Now, what I like to talk about as well when I'm discussing this is some tools that you can use. And one of the things that I like to recommend is picking out a crystal to work with. So I am going to, let's see, where is my crystal here? I am going to recommend that you work with rose quartz. Now, I will admit that rose quartz is my favorite crystal. And rose quartz is all about self-love. So you can buy a piece, hold it. I know there's some ladies that like to put it in their top undergarments. You can do that. Or you can just have, jewelry. I love wearing my crystals and jewelry. As you can see, I've got a big citrine because I'm really working on communication right now, asking that the words that I am speaking make sense to you. So again, I am highly recommending this. Now, as I make these recommendations, keep in mind that if for some reason you decide to go to a store, metaphysical store, pick out a crystal, you're holding the rose quartz. Oh, that this definitely is not something that you have to have. Okay, so what I mean by that is just know that if that stone is not resonating with you, then that's okay. Pick out a stone that is. All right, so that's rose quartz. Now, I'm also going to recommend an essential oil. And since we're going to be on a rose kick here, I would recommend rose essence. And again, with an essential oil, like with anything else, remember that you just take that and put that underneath your nose and see how it makes you feel. You are the best tester for any type of essential oil. And again, I know in the beginning rose didn't resonate with me, and then all of a sudden I found it very soothing and very calming. So I'm going to recommend you try it because again, it's tied into self-love, the rose quartz and everything that we're talking about tonight. But if that doesn't appeal to you, the other essences I would recommend would be strong citrus like lemon, mandarin orange. But it's one of my favorite things to do is to go to all the essential oils and just wave them under my nose and select the ones that really work for me. But again, we're getting you a whole bag of tricks to use. So we've got the rose quartz, we've got the beautiful essential oil, and before we started and I started speaking to you, I pulled a card, and the card that I pulled, we're going to call in Archangel Gabriel. And I know this shows in upside down for you or whatever, the opposite it's supposed to be. But Archangel Gabriel, we're going to call on her to really assist us with nurturing, because this is really a time that you should be nurturing yourself. So just really pay attention to anything you can do. If you're putting that mani-pedi on hold or that massage, now's a great time. Setting your intention, falling in love with yourself, falling in like with yourself, maybe going to see a great movie with yourself. Nobody else wants to go see Beauty and the Beast. You do. You go with yourself and you treat yourself. Archangel Gabriel is the angel who came and announced Jesus' arrival to Mother Mary. And one thing I want to remind everybody, I work with Archangel Gabriel a lot, and I always picture this energy as female. Angels, strictly speaking, are just energy, not female or male, but you'll find that one will be more predominant than another. But Archangel Gabriel is one that you'll see depicted both male and female. So however you resonate with this angel is fine. I always see it as feminine, but again, as with everything I'm talking about this evening, it's all about how it makes you feel. So she's reminding you to be nurtured, to take care. And remember, your angels are always waiting to be with you. All you have to do is call. Okay, so as promised, I'm going to be checking. Now I'm going to get my glasses on and checking to see. And oh, look at all these kind people saying hello. All right. Healthy eating, Cynthia is saying. Okay, so we see. So let's see if there's anybody out there right now that would like a mini reading. Why don't you just post a question or whatever, and we'll talk about that. One of the things you'll see in the background as we're looking at this live video is a beautiful cinnamon quartz, and I actually bought that in Sedona. I have not seen it anywhere else, and it really is a very high energy for me. And you can see my favorite flower is this ornate lily, and you can see that I have that in the background as well. The flower, however, that I would recommend for you to go along with everything we're talking about is the red rose. And the red rose is all about love, and because we are falling in love with ourselves, what a beautiful gift to give yourself is a bouquet of beautiful red roses. And remember, they don't have to be costly. You can go to the grocery store, grab yourself a bouquet of red roses, but I highly recommend that you do that. Get some flowers. You should always have fresh flowers. It's my opinion. Wonderful way to pamper yourself. Great way to clear the energy in your house. So let me just return here. Okay, so we have Sharon who's looking for any insight about her children. Okay, I am pulling from the Archangel Oracle deck, and when I do my mini readings, what I do is I usually get some information and then I go to the cards. So what I'm going to say, Sharon, is that what I'm seeing around you is that your children are doing okay. I'm seeing a bit of a helicopter around you, so I have a feeling that maybe you might kind of hover over them a little bit more than necessary, but I'm really feeling that they're doing better than you think. So I'm not seeing any red flags around their energy. I feel like it's something that you can feel that you've done a good job as a mom. For some reason, I think at times you question that, and as we're talking about this mirror work, really pay attention to what it is that you say to yourself when you look in the mirror. Remember how important it is that you speak to yourself in a loving way. I often find that sometimes the things that I say to myself when I'm looking at myself are things that I would never say to my worst enemy. So if you catch yourself doing that, quickly, cancel, delete, and find something positive to say. So Sharon, I'm going to pull a card for you and see what angel comes up for you in talking about your children. Okay, Archangel Haniel, moon cycles. Okay, when this happens now you're probably saying, okay, what does this have to do with my children? I teach a lot of classes in reading oracle cards. I like to teach people how to do their own readings. When you get a card like this that doesn't really seem to answer the question that you've asked, what I would say is what this is telling you is, first of all, I feel very strong validation. Archangel Haniel, very tied into the moon cycles. I feel very strong validation that your children are doing better than you think, that a lot of your worry is unnecessary. And remember that worry is like praying for something that you don't want. So when we talk about setting intentions, and when you see your children, instead of worrying about your children, just picture them as how you would have them be in a perfect world. You also do that when somebody's sick. You don't see them in their, dis-ease state, as Louise Hay says, but instead you see them as perfect, whole, and complete, because that's the energy that you want to be sending them. I think this moon cycle card has come up for you, Sharon, because it is really all about you and really paying attention to the cycles. I have a feeling that a lot of these emotions and things that I'm talking about really resonate with you. So pay attention, and I think this would really be a good time for you to set an intention. I see something creative around you that's wanting to be expressed. So I'm going to invite you with this new moon energy to take some time this evening and just sit back and think, if you had a magic wand and there was anything right now that you could do, if there anything was possible, what is it that you would do? Because I feel there's something creative that is tied into this wish fulfillment that would really be beneficial for you now. And again, our children, believe me, I understand being a mom, but I feel that this is all about you and you really recognizing that it's okay for you to start stepping into the Sharon-ness of who you are. So thank you so much for asking your question. So let's go back to my glasses here. Okay, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Well, Ms. Alvarez, I will say, because I do not want to butcher your name. Okay, let's see if we've got any messages from your angels for you. And I will be scrolling up there so I can get some of the earlier questions, because I know when you're trying to get a reading. Okay, so Ms. Alvarez, okay. Beautiful card, and this is Archangel Chamuel coming in and telling you about peace. When we're in this energy right now, okay, Archangel Chamuel bringing peace. With this energy right now, this is so much about taking the moral high ground. And what I mean by that is you're going to find, because Venus is involved here, that your relationships might really be in a tumultuous place. And rather than focusing on being in an argument and having to be right, it might be better for you to take a step back. And I'm not talking about you personally, because I'm not seeing it around you, Ms. Alvarez, because I don't want to mispronounce your name. But I'm just saying this in general. I feel for you that this peace card has come up because for you, peace is very important. And I want to remind you that peace begins with you. That being said, I think you often find yourself in the middle of things. What your angels are reminding you is that the only thing that you can truly control is yourself and your reactions. So when you find yourself in the middle of things, really allow yourself to take a step back and remove yourself from the situation. I'm seeing a lot of triangle with you, so I feel that there's times you're in the middle of things that you really shouldn't be in the middle of. You get placed in that because you like everybody to be happy around you all the time. And because of that, you'll often feel a little bit energetically drained because you're trying to make that happen. Just keep in mind that you deserve peace, and if it is involving you removing yourself from the situation completely, then that's exactly what you have to do. So thank you so much for asking your question. And that is Archangel Chamuel, and he's a great angel to call when you're looking for lost items. I work with them all the time because I lose everything. So he's a great angel to call to help you with that. Okay, let's see. Vicky is asking, will I sell my home this year? Let's see. Oops. Okay, let's see. Will I sell my home this year and move to Colorado? Vicky's asking me that. Vicky, I'm getting an immediate yes with that. It might not happen as quickly as you would like it to happen, but it is going to happen. So now, again, would be a great time for you to get into a visualization place. Picture this house in Colorado, exactly how it would look. The other thing I would highly recommend you do is set an intention around your home. A beautiful thing to do when you're going to sell your house is to put your house, I always use fuchsia because I'm kind of a pink person, but I use a fuchsia bubble. It begins very small at the heart of your home. And then what you do is you expand the bubble, again in a visualization, so that it encompasses the entire, everything about your house. Your front yard, your backyard, maybe you could even do your neighborhood. And what you do is you set an intention that everybody that's coming into that bubble feels unconditional love. When you're trying to sell a home, you would be so surprised at how good this would be for you to hasten the process. I'm seeing the summer months around this, so I do feel, again, it might be moving slower than you would like, but I'm getting a strong sense that it's going to happen for you this summer. But this new moon energy would be a great time to get into that feeling place of how you're going to feel when your house sells and you find the perfect house in Colorado. And again, wonderful affirmation. I sell my house easily and find the perfect home in Colorado. And so it is. Okay? But let's just pull a quick card for you. Okay, and Archangel Metatron has come in and talked about chakra clearing. Archangel Metatron, I always see this Merkaba around him. He is one of the angels, and I want to say Enoch, I'm almost sure it was Enoch, who lived as a human being. He tends to work with our higher selves. Now again, what would chakra clearing have to do with what we're talking about in you selling your home? Well, what I'm going to do is look at this in the big picture, because I really feel this is talking about energy and talking about the energy of your home. home and asking Archangel Metatron, who is great working with the higher chakras, really filling your home with all those good vibrations, to call on him and help him. Really, you know, for all intents and purposes, we're talking about the heart chakra at the center of your home. So really working on that, making sure it's cleared. I know it gets frustrating when you're trying to sell a house. So just making sure that the house is cleared. You might want to use some white sage to smudge, keeping that chakra open. Your own energy fields as well, your auric field, your chakras, you want to keep those cleansed, because as you're working in this energy, people coming into your home, looking at your home, you're feeling out of sorts. What I'm seeing around you is root chakra, that one chakra that's located at the bottom of your spine. It's red in color. That's our security, our stability. Make sure that you're feeling safe and secure with what's going on. And with this Aries energy and this new moon, it would really be beneficial for you to make sure that you're really feeling safe, you're feeling secure and abundant. So Archangel Metatron wants to work with you, get your house all cleared and sparkly, and really hasten that sales process. So thank you so much for your question. Okay, so we got that. Let me just see. All right, so Carol's wondering, is there a career change for me? And she's talking about the CACR, and that's a wonderful page that I've been working on, helping people get their businesses started. I am seeing, Carol, a career change for you, but again, it's so interesting because when I do these readings, and I just want to remind everybody that I do these readings as well on my radio show, which is the Night Shift. It's on W4CY.com radio. It's internet, so anybody can listen to it. And I do these mini readings as well then. And I'm mentioning that because I always find a trend when I'm doing these readings. And the word that I keep on getting with all the readings that I'm doing with the mom and the home and now with you is patience. And I feel that right now, with everything that's going on the planet, we're really being asked to be patient. And I know there's so many people out there that have been patient with all of these ups and downs with things that have gone on, but we're being asked to be patient just a little bit longer. So keep that in mind when we talk about changing careers, because what I see for you, Carol, is your foot a bit in two worlds. I just got back from Harry Potter World at Universal, so Muggles sticking in my head, and I feel that there's a part of you that's going to remain in the Muggle world, and then a part of you that's very slowly going to be going into this. The one thing I see around you, be confident that you do have the ability to do this, because I think there's times that you doubt yourself and wonder. You were very drawn to do this, but I feel that there was a bit of stepping outside your comfort zone with it. Know that you're exactly where you're meant to be, and little by little I see people really more and more being drawn to you to do the type of work that you do. I'm seeing healing work around you, so I'm not sure if that's a part of what you do, but that might be something that you might want to explore. If you've ever been drawn to doing Reiki or IET or any of those things, I would invite you to maybe also include that with the readings that you're doing, because a lot of green in your auric field, which is telling me that you have that potential. Okay, so I'm going to pull a card for you. Let's see what comes up. And again, I'm pulling from the Archangel Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. This is a nice deck for those of you. Again, I have so many different decks, and I'm always very guided in what deck to use at what time. And so I think decks like the oils that we talked about and the crystals that we talked about are very individual. But what's nice about this deck is that you get an angel, you get a word, and a little description of how this might be relevant for you. Okay, gentleness. And now this is Archangel Sandalphon. And I think what is so interesting is now we've had Metatron come in and we've had Sandalphon, and he's Enoch. So Metatron was Elijah, he was Enoch. As much as we feel that our deceased loved ones may be angels, that's not exactly the way it works. When they pass, even if they're a very high vibrational energy, they remain more or less of a human energy, or that type of energy versus an angel energy, which was created by the divine. So as much as there's a bunch of movies out there about getting our wings, it really doesn't work like that. This is a distinctly different energy, our angelic friends. But Enoch and Elijah were once, they're talked about in the Bible, they were once human beings, and they were changed into angels. What I always feel working with Metatron and with Sandalphon is that they really seem to resonate with the human condition. I feel like they really, like I said, just can really help us. So what he is saying to you is to be gentle with yourself. And this really does come to what I'm saying, that I feel that there's a part of you that doesn't feel confident or that you have the ability to do this work. And I feel he's coming in to say, be kind to yourself, be gentle to yourself as you would be to the other people that you're with. So yes, I feel there's a career change coming for you. I feel you are going to slowly be implementing these new things into your life. I think this would be a great angel for you to work with, Sandalphon, and really remind yourself, again, with self-nurturing. Everything that we're talking about with this moon energy is really important that you keep in mind as you're exploring your heart and you're exploring your soul and doing, like I said, that inward voyage in this energy. Okay. Let's see. Anne-Marie. I would love to know what my guardian angels' names are or what steps I could do to know their names. Okay, I'm going to give you a name of one of your guardian angels. And the name that I'm getting for you is Celeste. So we're going to leave you with that name. Now, one of the things that you can do is go into meditation and invite your guardian angels to come and join you in meditation. And while you're there, you can ask them what their names are. Now, the one name I got for you is Celeste, and what I'm seeing around her is almost like a fairy godmother kind of energy. She's very nurturing. She works with you a lot, and I'm seeing a very brilliant pink color around her. So this could be a color that she uses to remind you of her presence. So if you find yourself drawn to that color or you're seeing flashes of that color, that's her coming through to you. Keep in mind, again, as with all angels, your guardian angels have to be called to assist you. So what I like to do, and this is really fascinating, it works, once you're given a name, and I've given you the name Celeste, ask your angels to let you have that name validated for you within 14 days. And I am telling you, the first time I ever did the meditation I'm describing for you, I actually was at a workshop. It was the very first workshop I ever did with Doreen Virtue. And we went into this meditation that she led, where she introduced us to our guardian angels. And as soon as we got done with the meditation, we had to jot down their names. So I got the name Astral, I got the name Joanna, and Oliver. And so I jotted those names down, and we set an intention that within, 14 days, those names would be validated. So the next day, Wayne Dyer was speaking, God bless him, and he started talking, and the first thing he starts talking about is the Charles Dickens story about Oliver. And it's like, oh my gosh, my mouth hits the floor, and I'm quickly writing it down thinking, there's that name being, validated for me. Now, where would you ever expect, especially a name like Oliver? I'm thinking, no way. Then at the end of his talk, Wayne Dyer introduced his assistant at the time, and her name was Joanna. And it's like, I just couldn't believe it. I referred back to my notes, and I looked, and sure enough, those were the names. Now, I will say Astral has never been validated for me. And whenever I feel his energy around me, I always feel a very tall, stately energy, almost like an out-of-world energy. I know it's an angel, but it almost feels, I can feel he's very distant at times and very wise. He's never validated his name for me, but I know he's there. So that's a little trick you can use. And again, just go into a very, very quiet time and close your eyes, and whatever happens, allow it to happen and just come to you. you. And then don't censor what you get. If you start hearing a name, just write it down. Sometimes what will happen for the validation is you'll hear it in a song. You'll meet somebody with that name. Now, that doesn't mean this person you meet is one of your angels, but what it's doing is your angels coming up to you and saying, I'm here, and letting you know I'm here. So it's a great question. Celeste is one of your angels, so we'll leave you with that. And you'll have to let me know if you get that name validated. Okay. I'm going to see if I can scroll here. Okay, Monica would like to do something like work from home, writing a book or something. What do you think? I have a friend who does this and help her with editing. Monica, I think it's a great idea for you, and I think it's definitely something that you should pursue. This is the perfect time to start it. And what I'm getting around you is a blog. I'm seeing a blog, and I think that would be a great way for you to start. As one writer to another, what I find is my biggest challenge is being consistent with my writing. Because what will happen is there'll be times that I'll be super motivated and super inspired and writing a ton, and then days will go by and I'll wait for that inspiration and it won't happen. One of the things I really enjoy about social media is that it gives you a forum to write. And even if you don't want to get involved with a blog every day, just creating a Facebook page where you can write and put down your thoughts, it will start to build your audience. You'll have something to say. Recently, in October, actually, I lost my husband, and I had met him when I was 15. We were married for 45 years. So it's been a huge adjustment for me. And I was really debating whether I should share this. I didn't know if it would seem like unseemly, really, to put something like this on Facebook. But because I'm a writer and I would be writing all of these things, it just was something that I really wanted to do. So I started just putting some things on Facebook, on my fan page, about some of the experiences I was going through. And I could not believe the positive response I got. And it really made me feel good, first of all, to have the people reaching out like that, but it also really made me realize that this was helping other people. So find something that you really feel that you want to express. And don't think that there's anything that's not relevant to somebody. Because if it's something that you're going through, there's going to be at least one other person on the planet that's going to be able to relate to that. So I'm definitely feeling that, yes, writing is for you. And I also feel that a blog would be a great way to start. So let's see what card we pull up for you. Oh, Archangel Jeremiah, Life Review. Okay, Archangel Jeremiah is an angel who will come in when it's time to take a look at things. So he'd be a great angel to work with right now, for sure, with this new moon energy where we're taking and looking at our innards, so to speak. Archangel Jeremiah. So what I think, Monica, again, because like I said, I can feel this theme running through, to really pay attention to your self-talk and your self-confidence and realizing that you do have something to say. And Archangel Jeremiah is asking you to take a look. I'm seeing about relationships, and what I'm not talking about personal relationships. What I'm talking about is maybe people in your past, teachers. I'm feeling that I always, when I'm getting this kind of information, it's like I see all little black magpies around, and I feel like there have been people that have been naysayers in your life, kind of giving you the impression of why you might not be able to do what it is that you would love to do. So we're going to just tell those birds to fly away, that you are capable of anything and everything that you would like to do. So just keep in mind, Archangel Jeremiah, work with him, take a look at your past and some of the things that you need to release and let go. This green color too is telling me great positive healing time for you. So very much about releasing the past and embracing the present. Okay. Okay, Vicky, healthy profession for me soon. Healthier profession. Okay, I'm getting a yes with this, Vicki, and you know, I'm seeing a very strong July connection for you. So I'm also seeing a lot of papers around you. So not sure if you've got your resume out or if you work with a lot of papers, but I'm getting all of these papers around you. And again, the key word for this evening seems to be patience. It is going to happen because I feel like you're saying, I think positive, I've got all my affirmations in place, I'm doing the work, why isn't it happening? And again, that is the only thing that we can control is the timing of our intention manifesting. That is the only thing we can't control. We always have to have trust that it will manifest. It might just not be when we think it will. As far as, you know, I feel that there's people around you or your situation that can be toxic. So it's very important that you keep yourself energetically protected. Nurturing, again, very important for you when you're feeling these energetic drains. So just keep in mind that it is a time for you to take care of you. And as you're proceeding and looking into doing something that is, as you said, healthier, it's really going to be beneficial for you to focus on yourself and taking care of you. And as much as you might think, well, you know, it's very difficult with where you are right now, what you want to do is make the best of where you are right now so that you will be able to really be at your best in this profession. And I'm getting a strong July connection with that. So let's see what the cards say. Very interesting because this card jumped out of the deck. And this is angel therapy, and this is Archangel Raphael, and so much that wonderful energy that he brings to all of us, that healing energy. So I'm getting a yes for you. Angel therapy, call on your angels to assist you in every way. One of your guardian angels is Matthew. We ask that that name be validated for you within the next 14 days. Very strong, and I'm getting a very strong, vivid purple around this angel. So really use your angels to help you get through. Ask them to clear your energy. Ask them to align your chakras. Keep your aura where it's supposed to be. And when you're going into toxic situations, just put a beautiful rose in front of your auric field. And this is all visualization. You place that rose, any color, any size, opened or closed. You place that rose in front of your auric field, and that will protect you when you have to go into situations that are extremely toxic. You feel the rose wilting, you just put a new rose out there. It's all intention too. It doesn't have to be anything complicated. It's just intention. So you do have a healthier job coming up for you. In the meantime, protect your energy, get that self-nurturing in, and call on your call on your angels, Archangel Raphael in particular. Okay, well, I am going to wind this broadcast down because I see it's getting kind of dark, which I have been broadcasting these moon cycles during the day, so it was something I didn't really account for. But I thank you so much for joining me. Let's just recap what we talked about, okay? We have the new moon energy now in Aries, very aggressive energy, but because Venus is playing a part in this and retrograde, this is more about doing inner work than outer work. Set your intention for where you'd like to be in 28 days. I believe April 11th is the full moon, and I will be broadcasting on April 10th, and we'll talk about the full moon. And that's where we see things that will be coming to fruition from our intentions. So maybe give yourself just 2 weeks to see about, doing something like maybe working on your deserve issues. Are you somebody that feels you don't deserve to have all the best? We'll see what progress you can make in 14 days. Or starting a meditation practice and doing inner work that way. You can try that as well. So again, just keep in mind that these are all things that you can do. I suggested getting a rose quartz to remind you about self-love. And this is about falling in love. Maybe doing some mirror work to really get yourself to see how extraordinary you are. Using the rose essence or an essential oil that resonates with you, that calms you, that keeps you peaceful, that's going to help you right now. And last but not least, maybe a beautiful bouquet of red roses to just tell you you're worth it, because you know what? You are. Don't ever doubt that. Just a reminder, I'm SusanDintino. To learn a bit more about me, please visit my website, SusanDintino.com. And it has been my extraordinary pleasure to be with you this evening. Thank you so much for joining me. This will be posted on my Facebook page and also my YouTube channel. So keep an eye out. If you just happen to join me now or got a reading and want to re-listen to it, I'll have that available for you. Thank you so much. You guys have a very, very pleasant evening, and it was my pleasure. Good night now.